Hey y'all, it's Jaylatne, and it's Halloween, baby. If I did this right, this should be coming out on Halloween, and if I didn't, please kill me. But hey, it's the scary season, and I'm very happy there's a whole lot more of you guys to spend it with me. Anyways, next long video essay will be out soon. I just want to make this as a fun little side thing, because I love Halloween. I love scary stuff, and why not spend it huddled up together talking about the scariest thing of all, our childhood drama. And I've got something to admit, alright? When I was a kid, I was a little bitch, alright? I was a massive coward, and to some extent, I still kinda am. Despite all this, I loved scary shit. I have super fond memories of staying up late at night and watching shit I probably shouldn't have been watching. And yeah, I know that's what every other person who's made a video like this has said, but hold on, stick with me for a sec, because I think I have a pretty unique perspective from others, and that being, I'm 20, baby. Yeah, I was a 2000s baby, which means I feel like a lot of people around my age could really relate, which is something that I think is different from a whole lot of other people who are making similar stuff. For example, FNAF came out when I was in fucking middle school. I have very vivid memories of just being in the school bus and trying to act tough by playing the mobile version of FNAF, and if you know anything about that version, is that it sucks dick. Yeah, I was really dumb, but that's not to say that everything I was scared of is from like 2 years ago. You know, there's some older stuff, and I wasn't like screaming, crying over Cubo getting shut down, you know? But still, I think this will be different enough for people to enjoy. Obvious content warning ahead if you don't want to hear about stuff like this, alright? But before I do, guys, I hate to do this to y'all, you know, upper management shit, you know, I'm sorry. You know, it's boss's orders, and in order to increase viewer time and engagement, they've installed this little shitty random number generator. It's supposed to get viewers to like stick around till the end to see what number it pops up. I don't know, it's fucking stupid, but I don't make the decisions, alright? Let's just put that to the side, who cares? And you know, it's Halloween. Let's just keep things fun and light, alright? I won't jump scare you guys, and I'll give you a warning before anything like that happens. So, you know what, let's just jump right into it. Okay, so I was kind of a fucked up little kid. I loved horror, but I was also a massive coward. And in the process of writing this script, I think I've come to realize that a lot of this shit is just venting for pranks my family pulled on me, which, hey guys, thanks. I love my family. Most of my family is really cool. My mom would hold my hand and be really supportive when I was alone and afraid and dark, and I think that's really sweet. Of course, I was really scared of all the typical stuff: spiders, being alone, the darkness.
Say, fellas, did somebody mention the door to darkness?
But I gained so many new fears that I would have never known about if it weren't for my dad and my older cousin. One of the first experiences I've ever had with the internet was when I was a little kid over at my cousin's house. Her family actually had an internet provider and a computer, which for the longest time I didn't have. My family was really poor and we lived in these shitty little apartments, but we did have enough to get a really shitty PC that struggled to even run any of those like baby educational games. Anyways, I was enamored with the internet at a very young age. I would go over to my cousin's house and she would just show me a bunch of really early YouTube videos. Mostly we would just watch like music videos together. My partner and my friends have always made fun of me for being like a little gay baby, because I would constantly just ask to listen to Lady Gaga and Kesha. But in my defense, telephone absolutely fucks. Like, come on, man. You're gonna tell me you don't want to listen to this? But alongside those videos, she would also repeatedly trick me into shitting my pants by showing me shit that still to this day messes with me. One of the videos that had stuck with me that I think about sometimes when I go to the bathroom is this one video my cousin showed me, simply titled This fucking video ruined my life for years. I thought about it constantly afterwards, and it made me feel so uncomfortable. It made me squirm in my goddamn seat when I saw it. It's crazy because it made such an impact on me, but I only watched the video once, and it wasn't until doing research for this video that I actually found the original source. You see, Pooh is just a really bad 260p re-upload of the actual video, which is called The Big Push, and it was made by a website called Duty.com, a website that focuses on making shit content, and I mean that very literally. It's all they do, and you know what? I guess good on them. See a need, fill a need. Of course, there can never be an older sibling showing you scary video stories without the classic scary maze game, Slender, etc. But things changed once I got into elementary school. My family finally caved from me just constantly begging them for Wi-Fi, and I was finally let free onto the internet by myself, a decision that everyone would soon come to regret, as I would ultimately metamorphosize into the freakish, terminally online beast I am today. A very traumatic video me and my friend Jared share in common is the absolute internet classic AGAMEMNON Counterpart. This video was uploaded in like 2006 and I probably watched it in like 2013, but to this day it still freaks me the fuck out. We have a little bit of text in the beginning telling us about a strange cassette tape that has nothing to do with what we're watching. Then the video plays and it's just hellish screams over distorted footage of some kind of demonic kids cartoon. It's nonsensical, weird, and creepy as hell to me when I was a kid. There's no backstory or explanation given, and you're kind of just left in the dark to process it. There is a creepypasta which was made after the fact by someone not related to the original, and it sucks. Don't read it. It's just more edgy, try-hard creepypasta stuff like, the screams are real screams from a murder victim. What? If my research is correct, it seems like this was a student art project made for a non-profit art program called Destination Imagination in 2001, which, I don't know, seems kind of insane to me. Like, imagine coming to class and one of your classmates shows you this at like 8 AM on a Thursday. Speaking of things I was way too young to be watching. Dear God, how am I gonna fucking talk about this one? To anyone who watch a lot of horror content on YouTube, you know it's kind of inevitable that you'll be sent down some really weird rabbit holes. Stuff like World Corp or other various orgies come to mind. But one day as a kid in middle school, I stumbled upon something different. I forgot who made this playlist, and I forgot exactly what video I found it from, but inside this playlist, I found this. Now, I won't play it, because my whole fucking channel will be gone in a fucking instant. But to anyone who's unaware what vor is, it is a fetish where something consumes another living thing whole. Usually it goes hand in hand with giganticism. And what ends up happening is this guy is swallowed and vored by this giant blue fucking fox. And he green screens himself, traveling inside her fucking guts. It's insane! And listen, if you're into any of that, I'm sorry you're gonna catch some strays here, but what the fuck, man? What the fuck? I was in middle school, and this terrified the shit out of me. It was the first time I had ever had to deal with the concept of vor. Not the last time, unfortunately, but but what made everything so much worse was the fact that that giant blue fox, I fucking recognize her from a video game called Star Fox Adventures that I played when I was a kid. I was fucking terrified. But what made it all worse was the fact that I was initially under the impression someone made this to scare people. But looking at the comments and the many more videos this guy made of the exact same thing changed my whole worldview. When I realized the thing I just spent 20 minutes hiding in the corner from was something someone had probably jacked off to, I was never the same again. Now, all these things are really silly and stupid stuff that I could put on now and get a good laugh out of. I was really easily scared as a kid, so it makes sense that this stuff would have been too intense for me. But to this day, I still kind of have a lot of trouble watching this next video I wasn't even that young when I watched this next video, but it still fucked me up so bad. I think I was in like 7th grade, and this video has stuck in my mind as something just completely unpleasant. The video I'm talking about is Lee Hardcastle's Simpsons couch gag. I'm telling you right now, this is getting its own trigger warning. Do not fucking watch this video unless you have a super strong stomach. I'm not even gonna actually show any clips of it, but Jesus Christ. For anyone who doesn't know, Lee Hardcastle is an incredibly talented stop-motion animator, having worked for a variety of different companies like Adult Swim, Disney, as well as having his own YouTube channel where he uploads short stop-motion animated horror content. Mad respects to this man, but Lee's unofficial Simpsons gag is fucking horrifying to me. Without going too much into detail, the Simpsons are horrifically and brutally murdered in very graphic detail during a home invasion. And I rewatched this for this video, and man, to this day, this shit is still so stomach churning. I felt ill watching this, and I felt like at this point, I was used to so much fucked up shit. I'd watched Henry Eats, Let Me Hear Your War Cry, and how even shit like Happy Tree Friends, which is also incredibly gory. But man, did this video fuck me up. Lee, you traumatized me, you ruined my life, and you almost made me throw up my arroz con pollo. And for that, Lee, for that, I'm giving you my Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice Award, baby. Let's go! I remember finding this video in early middle school and just being frozen in place. The disturbing music and the weird early CGI faces terrifies me, but it was also so intriguing. I had found the video through a compilation of TV hijackings. Reportedly, this was a hijacking of a TV station in Wyoming, Nebraska. This video was made and posted sometime around late 2006 to early 2007, and I'm not entirely sure why, but scary videos from very early YouTube are somehow even more terrifying to me than some posted today. Because when I think of horror on the internet pre-2010, I think of really shitty jump scare bait media. Things like the Scary Maze game or the zombie car. Overall, not aging very well, but stuff like this and AGAMEMNON Counterpart are so scary because they do hold up. In fact, they make more sense now than they probably did before. I kind of view these videos and Marble Hornets as kind of predecessors to the analog horror craze. I can see so much of this video's DNA in stuff like Local 58 or AGAMEMNON in stuff like the FNAF analog horror series. The Wyoming incident was something both me and my friend Jared were super interested in, both on and off. We both loved music and love sampling. We've spent countless hours just watching compilations of sample flips on YouTube, and the Wyoming incident was something from both of our childhoods that really freaked us out. But once I grew out of that fear, I just really came to appreciate how cool the sampling is. I don't know when I'll ever get the chance to nerd out about sampling again, but I literally love it so much. MF Doom and Daft Punk have some of my favorite sample flips ever, and the track Face to Face is so complex and deeply layered that to this day, over 20 years since the song came out, people are still finding new samples inside the song, and I love that. I love that search, and the Wyoming incident, in a way, is in a very similar place, with people trying to identify where each sample comes from. There's a pretty simple Silent Hill sample, but the most interesting one to me, by far, is the WGBH logo sample. To this day, I feel fucking genuine dread hearing the WGBH sample, either in its original or edited form. Like, I don't understand why the hell they had to make it so goddamn scary, but it is, and I can't fucking stand it. It makes my skin crawl. It's horrible. And I get this is probably a really dumb baby thing to be scared of, and I'm not that scared of it now, but this and the New Line Cinema intro were terrifying to me. The New Line Cinema intro was probably scary to me because I really heavily associated with the Chucky movies. Another thing my friends all made fun of me for, especially considering New Line never even published a single Chucky movie. Like what? But besides me being a total coward, I've grown to really respect these videos as a part of internet horror culture, and as the grandfather of modern day internet horror media. And if not that, then at the very least, very silly, fun staples of my childhood. Except you. I'm not letting your ass slide. Of course, as a young kid on the early 2010s internet, I went through a creepypasta phase. I was really into learning about several different creepypastas. I hated reading as a kid, so I mostly just listened to other people read them to me. One of the channels I used to watch was Some Ordinary Gamers, back when he used to do creepypastas. I remember just hearing his intro was enough to send me into a cold sweat. I loved creepypastas, and I was scared of most of them, and it did not matter how bad they were. And trust me, they were bad. If you played that stupid ass music and had a poorly edited Photoshop of a kid's character with black eyes, it was done. It was over for me. Of course I was scared of the classics, Sonic EXE, Jeff the Killer, Smile Dog, Slender Man, etc. And looking back on it, most of these suck ass. The Sonic EXE creepypasta was so bad, in fact, it was taken off the creepypasta wiki for being so low quality, along with the creator throwing a pissy tantrum about it. Despite the low quality of a lot of these stories, I think the reason a lot of these stuck so hard with me, and many others, is really because of the images associated with it. In a lot of ways, I think it kind of reminds me of scary stories to tell in the dark. Another piece of media that was traumatizing to me, like imagine reading through a book as a kid and getting really invested, and suddenly you turn the page and it's like, boom! It's so cool. You really need to read it to get it, but it's like a jump scare within a book. It's so cool. But just like creepypastas, the image is usually the best part of the entire experience. A lot of the stories and scary stories kind of blow, and the same goes for a lot of creepypastas. Well, I'm not scared of them now. I still feel genuinely kind of unnerved staring at some of these. Like, ugh. It's frightening, and some of these are really well made. It's easy to tell why they're classics today. And while I've come to respect Slender Man, I think stuff like Squidward Suicide, Sonic EXE, and Jeff the Killer are genuinely kind of stinky doo-doo. Didn't stop me from getting absolutely scarred for life at the age of 11, though. I have very vivid memories of getting jump scared by Sonic EXE or Luigi game and begging my cousin to tell me if the video was over or not, so I could look at the screen again. Which, she was older than me, so it's probably really goddamn funny to her that I was scared of this. British? Some things from creepypastas still scare me a little bit, though. I think Candle Cove legitimately still creeps me out. Like, I don't remember if it was good or not, but that twist, that all the screaming and horrible shit that was going on was just kids staring at static, really stuck with me. Like, saying that out loud right now sounds kind of stupid, but you know, it was cool back then. You Gen Alphas wouldn't know, alright? The creepypasta that I remember being the scariest, though, were two really lesser known ones. One of them is called I Know You're Awake, and it's the story of a kid whose parents are murdered in his sleep and dragged into his room by a humanoid creature. And despite it explicitly stating that it's not, I always was more scared of the idea that it was some sort of fucking caveman Fred Flintstone fucking bonked his parents with a goddamn club. The kid hides under his sheets and pretends to be asleep and just praying that it goes away. But as he opens his eyes, he sees a message written on his wall in blood. I know you're awake. I think a lot of us when we were younger shared the common experience of hiding ourselves underneath our blankets and just pretending like nothing can grab us. Before I slept balls out like I do now, I used to sleep like this. And as a kid, the story freaked me the fuck out because the concept of the monster knowing that I was faking it and just waiting for me to realize it was so fucking terrifying. It's like your only line of defense is just completely fucking useless, and you have to confront that fact. Reading it now though, it's really badly written. The second story is called A Portrait, and it follows a hunter who gets lost in the woods and takes refuge in a cabin. He has trouble falling asleep as he notices that all the walls are adorned with portraits of all just people angrily staring down at him. He tries to ignore it and goes to sleep, and when he wakes up, he's showered by light. He then realizes that there were no portraits, just windows. I think I'm sensing a common theme here of being terrified of stories about going to sleep, and I think the short story holds up so well because it taps into that primal fear of mine of being watched. And it just freaks me the fuck out that whatever demon or fucking monster or ghost was out there did fucking nothing. It just didn't touch him at all. And now he just has to live with that idea. You know, it's horrifying. Now this last one, It isn't very good or that scary, but it still freaked me out back then, and that's the Tails Doll Curse. The Tails Doll Curse was basically a complete rip-off of Sonic EXE, where instead of Sonic coming to life from a cursed game, it was a demon who haunted the forgotten, below-average Sonic spin-off racing game, Sonic R. Man, if I was a demon and I had to haunt a fucking bargain bin spin-off game, I'd be pissed. The demon would possess the Tails Doll character in the game and come to life and kill the reader. How the person writing the creepypasta wrote the story despite dying, I don't know. Maybe they have Wattpad and maybe they have Wattpad in the afterlife, but this scared the shit out of me. This is kind of a common theme throughout my life of just being scared of inanimate objects coming to life. I'm not sure where it spawned from. It might have been from Toy Story or it might have been from Chucky. But when I was a little baby, like literally in preschool, I think I had one of the most terrifying fucking dreams ever. Which is literally just, I had a dream of this giant stuffed bear coming to life and just strangling me to death. And like looking back on it, why the hell was I thinking about that at such a young age? And I owned the VHS of Toy Story, and that scene where that bald ass kid gets fucking attacked just stuck with me so hard, because I was like, that's me! That's literally me! And like, it's crazy, because you got these Patrick Bateman, incels, Sigma males, whatever the fuck you want to call them, going like, looking at Patrick Bateman or Ryan Gosling and being like, that's literally me. Nah dog, fucking Sid from Toy Story, that's me. Now this part has a little bit of lost media in it, because I swear to God, I have very vivid memories of me watching an old video of the Tails doll fighting Fred Figglehorn from Fred. And I'm not joking, this video wasn't official. I don't even remember if it had voice acting in it, but what I do remember, it is basically just a slideshow with the two on screen, each of them just trading lines. I'll put a recreation up on the screen, but I don't know. I don't know where the hell this memory comes from. It could have been completely made up for all I know. But I don't know. I'm willing to think maybe it was real. Why would I ever dream about that? So if anyone even vaguely remembers anything like that, please let me know. I've tried to search for this multiple times and never found anything. I had a billion more things to say in this video, but I'm running out of time and I only have 3 days to edit this. Let's go! I had a lot of movies suggested. The Poltergeist was one of them, and although I've never seen the movie, I like my boy Steven Spielberg. He's done a lot of really good films before, and it's definitely up there with Scream as a horror movie I need to watch soon. For anyone who wants a really scary movie in the same vein though, I would highly recommend the movie Record. And without giving too much away, it's basically a demonic possession inside of an apartment building. I think if you could stomach it, y'all would really love it. Jim Carrey's The Grinch is a deeply evil, insane film of a demented, satanic green beast terrorizing a town of cultish religious fanatics. And it's also extremely fucking entertaining. Like, I think people give this and the live-action Mario movie a little bit too much shit. Like, yeah, they're kind of objectively ass, but I also think the mental image of being a small kid and being excited to watch a really wholesome or nice retelling of something you're familiar with, or anything even vaguely resembling the original source material, only to be met with someone's insane cyberpunk fanfiction, is hilarious. I do definitely agree though. Zombie Island was actually horrifying. Nana825763 is the creator of the infamous video username 666. Something that scared me really bad when I was a kid, because I thought it was real. But Poco Poco Shopping, made by the same creator, is something I never watched until much later. And by the time I did watch it, I thought it was just kind of silly and energetic enough to be really charming and fun. But I 100% understand how this could be terrifying, especially when the two videos have very innocent and soft-looking thumbnails that look like they're targeting little kids. I've already mentioned creepypastas, but the picture of Smile Dog and the Russian sleep experiment are actually terrifying, despite the stories both kind of being bad. That and the chance to bring up that thumbnail from the creepypasta 1999 from Creeps McPasta unearthed a buried memory in my brain. Man, it really sucks he turned out to be a creep, but I guess when it's in the name, you know. Well guys, it's been fun, and thank you all for 2K subs. We're about to reach 3K at the time of recording this, and it's just been a fucking dream. It's been insane being able to entertain this many people, and it's what I want to do. It makes me so fucking happy. to all the people sticking around and watching this video, because I don't feel like this video is going to do all that well, thank you so much, and I hope when the next video comes out, you'll stick around and watch that one too. Thank you, and please like, subscribe, and thank you for all the support, and... Oh shit. Oh fuck. Okay, I'm contractually obligated. We gotta go fucking look at that counter. I'm sorry. It probably says some stupid shit like fucking I don't... Run, run. Do you hear me? Fucking run, run, run!